to the channel, fam. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Fact videos like this.
There's something suspicious about Saturn. Max Spears asserted that Saturn was, quote, hijacked by parasitic entities, leading to the creation of its rings. He believes these entities transformed Saturn from a life-giving force into a transmitter of low-frequency negative energy, which is then amplified by the moon to influence Earth. Spears mysteriously died not long after publicizing these findings. This all sounds weird until you read Ringmakers of Saturn by Norman Bergrun. In this book, Bergrun independently presents compelling evidence as well as tons of photographs of what appears to be enormous, tens of thousand kilometers long electromagnetic vehicles which maintain Saturn's rings. He argues that these vehicles are extremely complex and cannot possibly be naturally formed. He concludes that there must be some sort of extremely advanced intelligence that maintains Saturn's rings. Fascinatingly, in Jordan Maxwell's work, he independently presents even more compelling evidence of an ancient global religion on Earth that worships Saturn. He argues that this global religion became popular during a time where Saturn, not the sun, was actually the primary celestial body in the sky. Okay, but what if this is all a coincidence? Well, elite control and survivor Alondra Markman reveals that Saturn is heavily associated with, and that every country in the world literally has an off-world embassy on Saturn's rings where leaders go to perform rituals for. Is it possible that there's something up with Saturn and it has something to do with some ancient cult, which the elites still take part in, which links them to powerfully advanced parasitic entities who aim to maintain the 3D materialistic matrix on Earth?
And you wish it was a movie.
Bro, it's like you
just came up out of the water.
Bro, what in the world is that?
Yeah, can you hear it?
Yep.
What the hell is that sound?
I know, we laughed.
We got
It won't let me hold my camera still.
You know what I just...
And why these guys sounds like South Park?
This is in Arizona?
This
Yes,
is in Arizona.
And this really rich guy, he's a, what is it?
He's a Rothschild.
A Rothschild. He bought this town of Felicity and named it after his wife, Felicity,
Wait, is this
who
real?
we
think
yes.
we ran into.
Can we make sure that this is real?
We visited it.
Go for tours of this place.
Oh, we did a tour. It was
We did a tour.
horrifying.
Why?
Tried to get us in the center of the pyramid, in the center of the thing, put our foot in the middle, save this thing and make a wish and then sign a contract. And I was like, and we were like, I'm not doing that. And she was like, well, it's the only part of the tour you have to do.
And they go,
To do the tour. And that's when we said, we don't want to do the tour anymore. We're going to leave. And she was pissed.
and then they said, she goes, this right here is the center of the world.
Would you sign it?
Let's get to the reason that I am anxious to do this interview, which is this report that you commissioned, Dr. Dinesh Rao, and it contains his analysis of the condition of your son's body based on an autopsy, I believe, and it critically contains 7 crime scene photographs that you took in your son's apartment. Is that correct?
That's right. There are 7 evidences that were very critical, which has not been picked up by the authorities.
The first thing that jumps out, and it's very obvious from the photographs that you took, is that there's blood all over the apartment. The official explanation is your son shot himself once in the head and the bullet entered the brainstem and extinguished life immediately.
Yes.
But these photographs show that that's not at all what happened, because there's blood all over the apartment. There's blood on the door, on the floor, in the bathroom. There's blood everywhere. That right there, just employing common sense, tells you that the person from whom that blood came, your son, presumably, did not have a fatal brain injury, at least when he was bleeding. I mean, something was going on in the apartment,
Yes.
right? The second thing that jumps out is that there is a tuft of hair that's
Yes.
not hair. It's from a wig.
It's from a wig.
I mean, he was a 26-year-old man with short hair from pictures. He's not wearing a wig, correct?
No, he is not.
Right.
And these hairs are not his.
And the portion of the wig, the clip-in wig, has blood on it.
Yes.
And there's blood all over the apartment. Right there, I would say, maybe it's a suicide, but you're gonna have to tell me how.
It's not a suicide. It's a
Yeah.
homicide, obviously.
And that's what journalism used to look like.
So we found the house, and you walk up the front path to the steps, those blue ceramic bowls that are still there, but there's nothing else. The entire house seems to have collapsed in on itself. That, I presume, was the basement.
And blue again.
News Nation interviews a whistleblower from the Air Force, a veteran helicopter pilot, Barber, that worked at one of these aircraft retrieval programs. He describes the aircraft that he encountered was white egg-shaped. At the moment, it was 150 feet away from him. He had night vision goggles on. He flipped open and closed his goggles. Now, if this is true, this is remarkable from what we have seen. What got me is his eyes. The dude didn't blink. The dude didn't blink. Look at his eyes, dude. That guy's eyes didn't blink. And what's odd is that it's they already have told us this in movies and shows. Arrival 2016, the hepapod vessels, Alien, the image of the alien picture of the egg, Superman baby pod. You remember that when the baby goes in the pod when he makes it to Earth? Cocoon 1985 shows like Dragon Ball Z. The vessel that Goku makes it in a little egg pod. Equa show, Mork and Mindy show when he shows up in a little egg. That's like they're telling us they already done this. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're already told us, hey, we know about this stuff. It's a trip, man. It's a trip. But his eyes, though, that's what got me.
Look at his eyes. And that's how people got the worm virus.
I'm not crazy.
Okay, but you've been missing for 2 years. I don't think you
I
understanding.
know, but when I was over there and I seen my sister and Papa and them, I was having fun. I don't
Over
know.
where?
Where? With the people.
What people?
I'm not
Like
crazy. They keep calling me crazy. They keep calling me crazy, but I seen my sister and Papa, bro.
girl, I'm just saying though.
And, bro, they were all telling me like it's okay. It's okay to date your sister. You can have a baby with your sister. But I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy at all.
We gotta get you in rehab.
I'm not crazy.
Cause what have you been doing? You've been gone for 2 years.
I don't know.
You're 18 now.
So what?
You literally went missing when you were 16. Do you not know how long we was looking for you?
Can I go back?
I don't even know where you are. You come knocking on my door.
Can I go back? Huh?
My auntie Shalonda is gonna be so pissed off. Like, where have you been?
I seen Papa and sister. Can I go back?
What are you talking about?
They keep saying I'm crazy. I'm not crazy.
How did you get to my house?
Huh?
How do you even remember where I lived? That was 2 years ago.
It was easy. I always come over here all the time, every day. You just never.
So this whole time, you've been coming to my house?
Yes, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I promise I'm not crazy.
She's not listening. He jumped off his timeline.
But right here, we're looking into the Thousand Oaks area. Actually, yeah, this is the north end of the Thousand Oaks area. Looking for any damage in here, but it doesn't look like fire got into this area. This is to the, actually right up the edge there. It's a little bit of fire came down. Oh, we got a house right there. And multiple houses down here in Oak Park. You see right there. It's the ones that back up to the interface, and that's 12 o'clock. Yeah, you're okay. Yeah, I see it now. It's Lindero Canyon. I see there. So, yeah, trying to get oriented here from so high up and very little visibility outward to where I can get my references. But you can see here the damage. Houses on either side, still standing, but the one right there is completely gone, and it got into these houses in the back. They got that one house right there. In fact, that's one we were watching last night. Yeah, we were watching this one last night.
Smart meters are something else.
You got to understand the level of thought. You got to understand the process and the mentality to have a Slim Jim holster. You slide that in and snap it shut and walk away.
Anyone wearing a gym holster is automatically my friend.
Aliens is not used. It's the others, and when you're taught, the way it's explained to me is that they are gods, with the little g. So the entire UFO phenomenon is about multiple gods that fight amongst themselves and by design factionalize mankind into different religions to step back and let us fight each other so it has other things that it wants to accomplish. and we don't notice them because we're too involved fighting each other. So, and they know that. So our government knows that. Our government knows that the others are instigating war amongst mankind. But the other issue is that these gods from you got to look back at ancient history and all those stories about gods that came down and did this and that. It's all true. The government is very aware that this intelligence is pitting different countries against each other based on religion, on purpose, and it's a scary scenario. So it's like it's a multiple front war that we're fighting, because now we have to worry about each other and we have to worry about the others.
And do you believe?
I'm talking to people at the moment, and this is creepy, but people at the moment who are contacting me, and I've had 3 do it now from all over the world, who say they've felt an urge to contact me, and they tell me that they've communicated with a blue being that has imbued them and downloaded them with information. And in one case, the person developed an ability to instantaneously understand physics equations, highly complex mathematics. And I've seen them do it.
Please, blue aliens, find me Codex.
How do they do that? How do they turn a family member against you?
So everyone in the United States, so if you look, a summary of our main message is, number one, everyone in the United States, and it appears to be most of the world, are being tracked by certain satellites. And these satellites are called GPS satellites. And they are the latest technology. All of this is done with a top secret clearance. They have more than 190 satellites under their direct control. They track the precise location of every US citizen by bouncing a microwave beam right here on the top back part of your head. And if you place your hand there firmly, put your knuckles right above it, you can actually feel the microwave pulses. They're about once per second. Everyone in the United States is tracked. Every person that I have tested with my own hand, I can feel the microwave pulse. And these weapons produce a microwave scalar beam. In other words, this is a new type of technology that operates under a very mysterious wave. It's called a scalar wave. And it is apparently part of the deep state plan to monitor, track, and surveil everyone on the planet.
Oh, okay, great.
They aren't particular just to US citizens. We have found that this is a global program. About a year ago, I counted more than 6.
And how do you block it? that why they're telling us Mercury is dangerous and to stay away from it?
I don't care how long he works and I don't care what he does. There is no job worth $2 million a year. That's why they pay athletes these fantastic salaries. I was listening to the radio the other day. They just contracted to pay one player on one team $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive and when the people are asking questions and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum. And he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated, so they don't ever question the emperor. 150 of the most powerful men and women in the world can meet in secret in Baden-Baden, Germany, can plot the fate of billions, and nobody even cares about it. But 6 football players go to lunch together, and it's in the headlines across the country. You have a reflection of the society in which that exists.
And he was a smart man. Mama cow say, hey, hold up, I got you. The view is beautiful.
Charging them because they say she broke her lease when she died.
They want the rest of the about a year's long worth of rent from a dead person.
91-year-old Sandra Bonilla died in late June and was buried at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery next to her husband. For more than 10 years, she lived at the Lodge at Chavano Park Apartments. At the time of her death, Bonilla had almost a year left on her 2-year lease.
We went to the apartment complex, spoke with the leasing manager, and he told us that he would use the security deposit towards the cleaning and turning over the apartment, and that they would terminate the lease.
But later, the family received this bill for $14,000 in accelerated rent and an $1,100 lease break fee. It even states the reason for her move out as deceased.
I think it's pretty unusual. I've never heard of anybody trying to charge an estate or somebody who's deceased for rent before.
Attorney Bill Clanton, who specializes in consumer and debt collection law, says a section of the Texas Property Code states a representative of the tenant's estate may avoid liability for future rent if they take 2 steps: remove all property from the apartment and provide a written notice of termination. And the landlord can only charge up to 30 days rent after the notice is received.
The landlord can charge for about 30 days.
It's simply outrageous.
This is the Sacred Forest Crystal Heart for the chakras. Her name is Azul, and I will be using her for some of my sound healing in my new studio. But I wanted to give you a sample.
Did you feel it? Play it again.
Oh, the one rabbit hole that I did get into, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It was the Scientology stuff. I really wanted to know what was it, you know what I mean? And there was one guy who infiltrated the whole thing, but like we've seen, and I've heard stories about people that just do the test, right? It's literally an IQ test.
Yeah.
And then they try to put shit on you. But this guy, this YouTuber, he had like one of these Snapchat glasses.
Yeah.
And he went to the church service. And I've never seen...
And it's like a video cam on the glasses,
and
right?
I've never seen a Scientology church service. Like, I've seen the questionnaire, but I've never seen it. And all they do, fam, the pastor goes, oh, everyone sit in your seat. You guys sitting? Good. Everyone sit in your seat. You sitting? Good. Everyone sit in your seat. That goes on
That's it?
for 10 minutes, fam.
Okay, sit in your chair. Good. Sit in your chair. All right, now are you sitting in your chair? Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. Sit in your chair.
And he's just saying commands over and over.
What's the point of that?
And I'm like, yo, I don't understand this.
Yeah.
I went to the comments. I'm like, okay, let's see if people are no. It's just brainwashing technique. If some guy keeps repeating an accomplished task,
yeah,
it's gonna get more sensitive to obey him. So when he says, oh, come next week, you're gonna come next week? Yeah. Are you gonna come next week?
Oh shit.
Yeah. Are you gonna come next week?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Fam, it's 10 minutes of one command, 10 minutes of another command. Yo, it kept going. And if you're really just
That's
like
crazy.
subconsciously like there, yo, you might get fucked up. Like you.
Similar to MK Ultra.
Am I the only person who's not really buying the story? Let me show you why. So let's start with the fact that it was ship 33 that had the issue apparently. Out of all ships, ship 33. In every single angle of the video we have, we see it going with the horizon and not going up and down vertically. All the vertical tapes were people holding their camera the opposite way, like you can see right here. But what if I told you we've been seeing this exact type situation every month for a few months now? Like for instance, this was the one that happened about 1 month ago and they deemed it not a meteor shower, and it happened when all the crazy stuff was happening in the northeast United States, if you get what I'm talking about. Further, do you remember this type of stuff always popping up in the sky? Well, after Starlink came out, they claimed that every single one of these was just Starlink, even though it started happening way before Starlink. All over the place. Then we had people coming out saying, oh, there's whole fleets of interdimensional creatures on the way to Earth. So I mean, is this really ship 33 going straight with Horizon? Oh, it's so fast and gravity will stay up. I doubt it. Plus, keeping the same color the entire time without dimming out. And by the way, did you know that spiritual things make humans act funny? At the same exact time, a few cars drove off the bridge. A few cars off the bridge in Washington, D.C. Again, same time. Not to mention having a full moon 4 days in a row. Look at this from the launch. Do you think that this would make it into space? It's layered up with aluminum foil.
They're getting ready up there.
Right now, and I got these new AI glasses that just dropped, and we're gonna put them on and we're gonna see how the Hotel Cecil looks through the eyes of AI. We ready? Put them on. Bro, that is pretty scary, not gonna lie. See if we see any ghost. Alright, let's zoom in here.
Is AI a filter of the veil we can see?
Toothpaste is the most poisonous thing you can put in your mouth. A good doctor will tell you the most dangerous aisle in a supermarket is the toothpaste aisle. Yeah. You want to kill your brains? Fluoride. Boy, they used to give kids fluoride tablets to strengthen their teeth. Better their teeth rot out than take fluoride, because that kills your brain.
Just make your own toothpaste.
We had guessed that the ship had been there perhaps 1 billion years old.
And that this female was still in the pilot's chair, preserved?
Absolutely amazing, stunning.
3-mile-long spacecraft. How long has it been there? How old might it be?
There have been guesses tossed around that it might be 1 million years old, might have been 100 million years old.
In the big 3-mile-long cigar-shaped ship. And then we went back and got her and brought her to the lander to bring back to the Earth as well as the Gray's Head.
That's correct. Rutledge went back. I remained in the lander. When we returned, Rutledge said he was going to go get the woman pilot. He did. It looked sophisticated, So I do tend to believe that she had some kind of a computer attached to her skin, and they were very visible.
Were they all over her body?
No, but the thighs, portions of her sides and back, perhaps as much as 30% of her skin surface, patterns, tattoos, yeah. The tattoos or patterns were probably a computer. It could be that their technology had circuits and chips that were so thin and so small that they would simply look like coloring on the skin. What I saw was an extremely well-preserved person. If they had died on the earth, you would swear that they hadn't been dead for more than several weeks and kept fairly well preserved during those several weeks. It was amazing.
Talk about the colors and the pattern shapes.
Oh, they look like circuit patterns. They would form right angles. Several 2-3 lines would go together, and then 2-3 lines would suddenly make a 90-degree turn. It looked computer-like, it really did.
Beautiful Polynesian-looking preserved female in one of the cockpit chairs.
Her skin was all intact. A dress of some sort, possibly a jumpsuit, being very much intact. No deterioration to speak of.
What about those tubes on her face were controlling from her mind this huge 3-mile-long craft, and she was the pilot?
A whole panel that looks like you put your hands on it. And apparently the controls, the ship's computer, interface directly with the pilot.
People who have confirmed for me they've had their own hands in those panels from 47. There were 6 fingers on those particular beads.
And now John Levine continues with what he and Commander Rutledge found in the 3-mile-long ancient craft.
Truth or CGI are very special.
This woman is addicted to having children. Despite financial difficulties, she has given birth to 13 kids. 45-year-old Nanako has been married for 25 years and has 13 children. She has also experienced 11 miscarriages. With this supersized family, their monthly living expenses reach up to $5,000. Every morning at 5 a.m., Nanako wakes up to prepare breakfast and lunch boxes for all 15 family members. Her husband helps by waking up each child, dressing the boys, brushing the girl's hair, and changing the baby's diaper. After breakfast, Nanako takes the younger children to school, while the older ones bike on their own. Once she returns home, she tackles household chores. Just the laundry alone fills 3 big baskets, and she runs the washing machine 4 times a day. By 9:30 a.m., Nanako heads to the hair salon to assist her husband. She works there for 9 hours straight. At 7 p.m., she returns home to a pile of tasks waiting for her. Cooking dinner, doing more laundry, and getting the kids bathed and ready for bed. When the kids are finally asleep by 11 p.m., Nanako organizes clothes for the next day. It's not until 2 a.m. that she gets to sleep, and even then she might still be doing some housework. She only gets 3 hours of sleep a night, but she never complains. Nanako always has a smile on her face.
With 3 hours of sleep, they still find the time to boom boom.
While hiking, I stumbled across this weird-looking building. But getting a closer look, I discovered something very strange. Inside was a passageway leading deep underground. So I climbed down the rusted ladder, and at the bottom found this long, dark tunnel. I followed it until I came across yet another passageway, leading even further underground. Climbing down it, I then found myself in a large complex of rooms and tunnels. In one of the rooms, I'm pretty sure I found what used to be the shower.
Be really careful here not to get lost, because this place is a maze.
I explored lots of the rooms and tunnels for clues as to what this place could have once been, but I couldn't find anything. Whatever this place once was, they wanted to keep it secret. Eventually, after what felt like forever walking through this tunnel, I entered an absolutely massive chamber. So what do you think this place once was?
No graffiti equals danger.
You won't believe what's behind the story of these weird-looking blue goggles. And this is a subject which has the least amount of search results on Google that I've ever seen for any other theory or conspiracy. So in the early 1900s, a guy named Walter Kilner, who you can't even find a picture of him on Google, developed a sort of dye from coal tar. So he took this collodion-coated dye-treated glass plates and put Dicenium dye, that's the thing from the coal tar, in the middle of this glass. And the story goes that with these glasses, you can see outside of the normal range of visible light. All of a sudden your eyeballs can detect different wavelengths and frequencies of light. And it's said to have enabled the user to see people's auras. And you can see how strong or how weak someone's aura is, which is the electromagnetic field that we all emanate, at least normal humans do. But where this gets a little crazy, it's said that Walter Kilmer, when he wore these glasses in public, not everyone had an aura. Not just a weak aura, but no aura at all. You remember the movie They Live? When he puts on glasses and he can see the aliens in the crowd that normally without the glasses just look like normal humans? Some say this movie was actually based on the events of Dicenian glass. And then of course Walter's place gets raided and all of his equipment confiscated, and this gets totally buried and no one knows anything about it to this day, except for a couple stories floating around the internet. So I'm gonna try to get some dicenium and make my own dicenium glasses, and I'll see ya and see if you're real.
Is that why he disappeared?
You're eating. Bro, so what? It's against the law. So what? It's a violation of California law. I have the right to detain you. No, you don't. Yes, I do. You're going to go to jail. I'm not going to jail for eating a sandwich. No, for resisting arrest. I'm not resisting arrest. You are resisting. I haven't done anything wrong.
Where's the sign up here that says that we can't eat on the platform?
Right, that's on my bag. You are detained and you're not free to go. I'm not detained. I haven't done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong. You are detained. Stop. You're under arrest. For eating. It's illegal. Violation of California law. I've already said that. Turn around. Turn around now. I've done nothing wrong. Turn around, man.
Stop. Just listen. Just listen. Just listen.
Ain't nobody resisting. Ain't nobody resisting.
Just listen. He didn't even do anything. 4 cops eating a sandwich. That's all he did. Was
An arrest. It's just a $25 fine.
The simplest thing I could do to protect us in this situation is bring all of law enforcement, the CIA, anybody in there to show them the orbs. That way, they would just figure we were like crazy lunatics and they would just kind of leave us alone. However, they got their own pictures of orbs, and then a strange thing started to happen. The guys whom we took to from the Justice Department to take pictures were off doing their picture taking over at the Justice Department's offices, and all of a sudden the orbs are appearing on their photographs in the Justice Department. So the forensic scientists came in and they started taking pictures, and sure enough, they said, yeah, you know, you're right, there are these orbs. So they went back to their offices over in Quantico, and all of a sudden, within a matter of weeks, they're getting orbs on their photograph and their pictures. What's happening here? The last comment I got from them was, well, there are orbs everywhere. What's the big deal? I mean, wherever we go now, we're finding orbs. I said, well, yeah, but you see, did you find orbs before you went to the vortex in Wanacue? No. Well, does it occur to you that perhaps the guys who went to Wanacue, who we warned you might bring back orbs with them to the office, brought them back to your offices, and then you've steadily been propagating orbs from office to office to office to office while you're scratching your heads wondering what they are, when we've told you that they are observing us, and if you come and meet with them, they're going to follow you back and observe you, and if someone comes and meets with you about them, they're going to follow them back and observe them. And they apparently have an endless supply. You know, when I first announced this momentous discovery of Williams and Rail and all the, you know, the few people around like Carol who believed them, I said it had I warned the government, I said it sticks to you like fly paper. The book that Carol has with pictures of the orbs, oh, you know, you came to a conference, you go back to your house with your star chambers, and what do you have in your house? You went to meet them, you sat down with people, and you went back to your house, and then what happened? You have orbs in your house. You know, you go up, you come here, you go home. Many of you may go home and you may take orbs with you. When did you first interact with him, Larry? We have to figure out whether he's on drugs, works for the government, or he's real. No, I'm kidding, Dan, Gary, Larry. The issue is, Larry, there are different types of orbs. There are glowing globes. Yeah. Right. Well, those are probably glowing globes, which is a different subject than the orbs, because the only reason that the orbs show up is because in the last 6 years, the semiconductor industry has been kind enough to produce a semiconductor flash that now everyone is using throughout the photographic industry. You've seen cameras today, and they have like a little tube. It looks like a little tube, a little tiny itsy-bitsy fluorescent light. That tube is of a particular frequency that just by accident happens to backlight the leading edge of the... If you look at the front of this camera, everybody look at the front of this camera. Now, if I had a light and I shined it on that camera, what would happen? You'd see a round globular reflection, right, of it. If I took a picture of it and we put a white piece of paper to block off the fact that there was a camera and John sitting there, all you would see was the light reflected from that glass. Well, consider that an orb is not unlike that, and that the orb technology is not unlike that camera, except that it's exchanging more than just light, and it's a little longer. It's about 15 feet long. 15 feet. It traverses space from 45 light years away to our space through this n-dimensional space that the million-year-old culture of teaming with what we call aliens and they call people have developed this science and technology. Why do you think they developed a technology that would let them observe something, 40 light years away?
And it's called the hitchhiker effect, and the CIA knows about it.
So just for reference, this is my Alexa, and it's saying it's 6:40. My husband pointed out that our clock that hangs up above our TV, the time was wrong. So I was like, okay, I'll go and change the batteries. And when I walk into our kitchen, I notice the other clock we have that's on batteries is on the same exact time. And you can kind of see here that it's like ticking a little bit back and forth, but it's not going anywhere. And these are the only two like battery operated clocks that we have in our entire house. And before you ask, no, I did not change these batteries at the same time. We moved into this house in April, and this clock hanging up here is new. The other one came from our other house. So I'm going to ask Alexa so y'all can see the date.
Alexa, what is the date?
Today is Tuesday, January 14th.
And again, it showed the time being 6:40. And I'm even going to walk in here and show you guys my oven, which is saying the correct time. So why are these two battery operated clocks the same? I am generally confused right now. What?
And it's not the first time it's happening.
The newly announced high-speed rail map compared to the fires. Not saying anything, just showing you a picture.
Those fires are suspiciously convenient.
Alright guys, so I came back to see if we could get to my house out here. Let's see what they have to say. Military is about to come speak to me. You guys will hear the truth. How you doing, brother? Good, good. I live right here. Just want to go to my house.
Unfortunately, we can't let anybody through. It's a hard closure.
Why is that?
Because there's an evacuation order. We can't let anybody through unless you're a contractor, first responder, somebody supporting the first responders.
I'm a contractor, and I also live here.
But are you working to support the fire? Like, what do you doing?
I would love to support the fire, but I'm a general contractor.
Do you have credentials saying that you're supposed to be here?
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So we've been evacuated about almost a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
We've been homeless, no home. We've noticed that you guys are here, the military.
Right.
There is no fire by my house as I see the fire is out. So maybe my house has been burned down already. Maybe it hasn't. At my risk, I want to go there and see it. If I burn down, it's okay. I'm fine with that. Why is that a no?
I don't know the why. I'm just going to tell you that we have orders not to let anybody through.
Can you bring him for a sec? I want to ask him a question.
You want to ask him a question?
Yes.
That's fine. You can...
Something's up. And that's a wrap on this episode, fam. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me. Smash that subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.